Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Tuesday, March the 26th. The year is 2024. Let's talk trading. Past, present, future. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Today's topic, past, present, future. The reason I picked it is because we're going to be talking about trading psychology or aspect of it. And I guess I've had a couple of conversations and contacts with some traders lately. And some are kind of stuck on the past because they haven't been very successful. And so they're kind of taking a dim view on trading. They're maybe possibly afraid to click the mouse and enter a trade because they don't want to lose. And then some traders are talking about the future because they have some things they want to do, so much money they want to make, pay off some bills and debts, etc., etc. But the thing is, none of the questions I get really focus on the present. And the thing about trading is, it's not a single event. It's a series of events. I know the things I say aren't really earth-shattering, and that's the whole point I'm trying to make to traders out there. And somebody was even sent me a question about one of my really old videos about, all you need to trade is a horizontal line. And other traders, are asking me about other aspects of trading. And I found that interesting that, there's a few traders going back, I think that video might be over 10 years old by now, but it still applies to today, to the present, to each trade. And the thing about the present is what makes it difficult for us as humans to focus on is because we have memory. We think about the past, what happened before. But as I said, trading isn't a single event. So you enter a trade, your trading career, your trading success should never depend on one trade. Your success depends on what happens over a series of trades. Because when you trade, every trade that you've made is now in the past, but it has no bearing on the trade you're about to enter or the trade you're in, or even your next trade, which is the future. And when you click that mouse, there is a chance you may lose. You have to face that fact. You may lose. The other fact is, maybe, just maybe, you might have to stay in that trade a little bit longer than what you planned. I mean, Walmart talks about having a time limit, and I definitely understand that, because after a certain amount of time, things have changed, and if you're not in a winning position, you have to reevaluate and say, even if your stop loss hasn't triggered, you have to reevaluate and say, hey, do I have indications that the trade's going to go my way, or do I have indications that trade isn't going to go my way? And sometimes you exit the trade and you're happy that you exit. And sometimes you exit the trade and you kick yourself because if you had just waited one more second, you could have picked up a few more dollars or a few more pips, you know. And I'm going to go through some of these psychological screens just because I haven't gone over them in a while. But, I just talked about, after you enter trade, you almost have to have a huddle and just focus, decide if you want to exit. Because once you enter a trade, that's your next decision. When do I exit? What causes me to exit? And sometimes you're going to have to decide to exit with that small loss. And sometimes you might exit and say, you know what, I'm going to take the loss here, but I'm going to reverse the trade. Sometimes you might say, you know what, I haven't quite hit my stop loss. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just hedge the trade, or maybe I'll double in the other direction for whatever reason. Or sometimes you might say, you know what, I've made enough on this trade and I've got indications that it probably won't continue. Or it's like, hey, I've made money. I want to make some more money. It looks like it's really going my way. I'm going to add in. And then sometimes it might go against you a little bit, and you decide to average in, even though just about every trading book says never add to a loser. We've talked about the brain management and all the fears and regrets and where pain really comes from. It really does come from your reaction to the market. I mean, how many times have you entered a trade and the minute you click, it goes against you, 3, 4, 5 pips. I mean, it's like they just caught you. I mean, you start screaming at the screen. I know I've done that a few times. That's for sure. It's like, can't seem to buy a break. And that focus on the past is going to make you have certain thoughts and beliefs, and then that's going to trigger certain feelings, and that's going to give you the attitude, and that's going to cause a certain behavior and or action. You're either going to take the trade or not take the trade. And maybe you've got all the signals, but because of your thought and belief, you don't take that trade, and then you see it would have been a whopper. Could have been your best trade of the day, or the week, or the month, or the year. And you kick yourself. And then you just start to add to those negative thoughts and beliefs. You can't do that. And, and until your thoughts and beliefs change, your actions are not going to change. So you just have to take a look in the mirror and say, am I hesitating? If I'm hesitating, I must have a thought or belief. Figure out what that thought or belief is and replace it with a different thought, a positive thought, saying that, I know this strategy or this method or this indicator, over time, if I just do it, I am going to win. In fact, somebody was sending me a question asking about stocks and milking the cows and things like that. And they said, I know you don't trade equities, but I still do trade equities. There's a couple little stocks that, I'll wait for a certain signal, which I'll just share it with you. On Stock Fetcher, I created a filter. Actually, it's more of a display but it is also a filter And what I do is I basically play the highest low, lowest high game, but on a daily time frame, where since I don't have time to, I can't do this, trade the stocks and Forex, at the same time. It's a little difficult to do that. Maybe some people can, but I can't, especially since I don't have the old high-speed internet connection with 5 computers online with 5 different screens or more. So I'll look at it and it's like, okay, here's the trigger line. I get in here and then I can make a little profit or I can write it out. And I missed one, Dutch Brothers, the little coffee company, where I was waiting for the trigger at 27. It got close, and I think maybe I missed an opportunity, or maybe it just wasn't close enough. But I think it was close enough. I just was waiting for it to drop just a little bit more. I wanted to be patient. Well, it ran from like 27 all the way up to 35. And you can do the math. It was a nice little gain to be had. I missed it. And there was another one I missed, DNN. I had traded it, and then I didn't go back in. And it was a little gold mine stock that my filter picked up on. And I'm thinking gold mine stock, and it was trading for under $1. Well, I think it hit 2. I mean, we're talking a double. And I had to kick myself on that one too. But the reason I share those is because, when I have the right thoughts and beliefs and I get the signal, I put the trade in. Sometimes I just enter. Other times I'll put a stop entry in when it comes up to this price, do the buy. And then I'll put a TP on it and then walk away. It's just something to, basically, you can call them lunch money trades or folded money trades, where you just make a little, not looking to stick in forever, but just to have the discipline, in that system, in that method, knowing that it will pay out. And I'm not placing large bets like I used to, because once again, I can't pay attention to them like I can when I'm, day trading. So point is that I know over time it will pay out. You can look at the charts, and sometimes you take that trade and you're just going to have to stop out. But when you have the belief in the system and the knowing that, based on statistics, it will come above that lowest high and it will drop below that highest low. And it's pretty much that simple. And somebody was asking me about to explain, I think they wanted to know outside bar and the midpoint trades. But the thing is, all you do is you draw a horizontal line at those levels, and then that's it. That's why I made that video. All you need to trade is a horizontal line. It makes it so simple. You just go in a direction, price is moving across that line. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But if you lose small and every now and then you win big, you wind up with more money than you started with. So, fellow traders, the fastest 15 minutes in trading is up. And Walmal's not here today, and maybe we'll get his take when he comes on this subject when he comes back. So, I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, always feel free to contact me. And always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.